the main question comes in, why do you need a virtual environment while working with projects or many projects, and how do we install it? So the one of the main reason is, let's say you recently started working on Python project, and you have installed many libraries. Now the problem comes in, for one or two libraries or for one or two projects is okay. Maybe, it again depends on the versioning. But as soon as you install many libraries, they starts to contradict with the versions first of all, right? There might be like, many libraries in your project. For sure, it will be there. Now, sometimes one of the library needs some other kind of or some other versions of another library, right? Like the dependency libraries. And then what happens, each project or one project will start working and the other project will not work. These kind of issues comes in. So every project will require, let's say, a unique set of packages. So whenever we start a new project, we have to make sure that we create a virtual environment. So basically virtual environment is virtual directory within a folder, wherein we keep or wherein we install all those libraries which are dependent to each other with respect to the project. First, we will go through how to install the set up the virtual environment, and then we will install a couple of libraries. So this is one of the first step to our whole series, and this is important again. Okay, so let's first install the virtual environment. So for that, before even coming on to this window, what you need to do, or let's say when you install the Python application, after installing Python, you have to install the pip as well. And then after installing pip, make sure that you also install a virtual environment. So basically what you need to type is pip install virtual env, right? So I'm not installing it over here because that installation needs to be done on the computer level and not on the project level. So this is the so I'm using Visual Studio Code, and then this is the projects folder, right? So yeah, it's in the E folder or E drive, and projects is the let's say folder that I have created. Then you will write something like, let's say, pip install numpy, right? But before this, we have not activated the virtual environment, or we have not even created a virtual environment. So first we will do that, and then we'll install the library, because right now if we install it, it will install in the projects folder. So where whatever the project we are developing, it will be installed in this project. But what we have to make sure that we will create another folder for this project, and then within that we will create another virtual environment. Okay, so let's start with creating a project folder. So we will say mkdir algo rooted. Okay, so we created a folder over here. So there is empty folder, and now within this we will create a virtual environment. So there can be multiple projects within this folder, right? And for each project there should be a virtual environment. So now we will go inside this cd algo. I don't know why this is coming like this, but so now we are inside this project, Algorithmic trading. Now within this, we will create a virtual environment. So let's call it pip no, it should be Python m virtual environment, and then let's call it algorithmic trading underscore virtual env. I'm just this is basically the name of the of the virtual environment that you're gonna create. So okay. So yeah, algo in trading virtual environment, it should be one. Okay, so now if you see here, the virtual environment has been created and it's still getting created. So if you see here, you can see the folders. Right now what we will do, we will also activate this virtual environment now. So we call it, okay, so one thing that we need to do, change this. Let me just check what I'm using. Is it the PowerShell that I'm using, or okay? So please make sure that you are selecting the command, okay, not the PowerShell. Let me just tell you. Okay, so make sure you are using the command over here. Okay. Now let me clear this. Good. Now we need to activate this. Let's say algo. What was the library name? ALG virtual environment, and then backslash scripts backslash activate, right? So, and it is really important that And it's really important that you activate the virtual environment. Otherwise, whatever the libraries that you will create will not be enabled, or let's say it will not be effective, right? Okay, now for an example, let's install pandas library. Now, what you need to do, you need to see over here as well, because here the libraries will be installed. So when I'm installing pandas, let's say pip install pandas, right? So it's starting to create. Now see here, all the libraries related to pandas and even the panda package will be installed over here. Okay, great. So it has been installed, successfully installed. NumPy, pandas, date, Python's date utility. We will be using all these almost, right? Now, since the package has been installed and environment is also active, let's create a small Python file, or let's say interactive Python notebook file. So interactive Python notebook file is basically .ipynb. So .ipynb is an interactive web, notebook, right? So I'll just show you how to create it. It's really good, instead of writing the or creating a Python file, it's always good to create a notebook file. So it's basically, I think, Control or Control Shift E, and then create a new file, right? So I want to create Jupyter notebook, right? Okay, great. Let me write something over here. So import pandas as np. It's always good to give a short form, because see, why I have written np over here, because we are giving alias name, or let's say short name, so that whenever we call this pandas library, we don't need to write the pandas as a whole, but it's up to us how do we want to call it. Now you must be thinking that since we installed pandas library, why we are calling it. The reason being, we have to call it because we are importing all those functions within this pandas library or the package, right? And first, okay, let's install pip install notebook. Probably this could be the reason, that is, it's for there was no kernel. So let's see. I think so, because I could see the Jupyter events and all. Probably, I had Jupyter Notebook installed in my other system, so I might have forgot that this system might not have it. See how many, already so many packages or libraries have already been installed. This is gonna be a big project for sure. Okay, good. And now let's select the kernel. Let me try to exit this. Okay, let me first go to that folder and then activate AL scripts and then activate, right? So the environment is activated. So probably now, okay, now it's working. Now, so basically there were like a couple of issues. First of all, after installing, Notebook was not installed. So Notebook is normally used so that we can use the .ipynb, which is like I am interactive Python notebook. For that, you need to install the package as well, or the library as well. Apart from that, the package was not installed, or let's say package was not getting loaded properly, so I had to restart the Visual Studio, right? So now import Yahoo Finance as Yahoo, right? Now if I say Control Alt Enter, so yeah, both these libraries are loaded, so we have imported. Now in the next video, what we will do, we will try to import a data of maybe one or two stocks from National Stock Exchange of India, right? Okay, great. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Take care.